You're live.
All right. So thanks, Faith, for starting the hangout. And we're here with Faith, Seth, and Nick. And last week we speed and walked him through everything. And so this week we'll start off where we left off 2 weeks ago with the what is it? We're going to remove some temp variables. So we're going to do the temp query method. Page, looking at the book, yeah, starts on page 22. So yeah, let's get to it. I guess I need to bring up the I need to log into the C9. Okay. So yeah, so this week, our statement method is looking a lot better, and we're going to continue with refactoring the, we're going to remove these temp variables and replace them with a query. So I don't know. Have you had a chance to look at this part in the book?
Just now, not before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Joseph.
Hey, Joseph.
Hello.
Hey.
So yeah, so we're gonna do the replace temp with query method. I'll repeat that one more time for clarity eventually. Let's see. So I don't know. I find this interesting because what we'll end up doing is like this is still has some calculations in here. So we're assigning these variables to 0, and then we're doing some calculations within this method. We're calling this method and adding frequent random points, and then same thing down here to the there we're doing some calculations, and then here we're doing some calculations. So ultimately what we're going to be doing is actually getting rid of these calculations, I think, which will make the code more dry for when we implement the feature that comes up next. So I don't know. I've done this a lot where I've put in like 0 and done calculations. So it seems like this is doing 2 things now, right? So the statement is still doing 2 things, or maybe three things. So it's doing calculations, and it's printing out the result. So once we replace this temp with query, I think the statement method will be down to only doing one thing, which is just printing out the result. So yeah, so let's get to it. Any volunteers to get us started?
I would love.
Nominate Faith.
Sorry?
I nominate Faith.
So, I wanted to say I'd love to, but I'm not sure I understand what I need to do. So you're talking about query something that we need to remove out of this method, right?
Yeah. So yeah, let me take a look here. So
I'm not sure I understand that.
Okay, so let's do it one at a time.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this up. So this is actually doing 2 things here. I'm going to say this is equal to 0, and then get rid of that. So the first thing we can do is that this total amount here, we can, gosh, man, I'm gonna change this amount. I just don't like, so in the book, this is called, instead of amount due, it's called charge, to charge, just so that it's the same as the book and I don't get confused. So yeah, so here, so don't mind this right here. So this is under rental, and then there's going to be charge. So let's make sure the tests are passing still. And okay, so that's it. I won't get confused. Okay, so for the so I'll do, let me see. So for the total amount, so we're going to get rid of this. So this they call a temp variable. So we're going to replace this temp variable with a query method. So,
Okay.
So what they do is they basically they just get rid of the total amount. And
so anything initialized to 0 is what we call a temp variable.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be initialized to 0. I mean, we could have said, okay, everyone who joins our store or everyone who comes in to rent a movie has to pay $5, right? Maybe that's one of the rules. So, I mean, it could very well be like 5 or 1. It doesn't necessarily have to be 0. They call it a temp variable because it's temporary within the method. Like when this method is called, this variable is created, and then when the method is done running, the variable goes away. So it's so I guess he's using the term temporary variable to state that the variable's just local scope to that method. Did I explain that?
Yes.
Good. All
yes.
right.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it's kind of confusing to me too, why he calls it a temp method or temp variable, but that's my takeaway from it after looking at this book. So yeah, so we're going to get rid of the temp variable, and so where the temp variable is used down here in the total amount or rental. Yeah, so he adds it to the total amount, and then it's printed here. The total amount is printed here. So it's called the replace temp with query. So we need to create so we're going to create a new query. When he says query, it's just like a method. So we'll create a new method, and he's calling it total charge. And then basically the same here, result equals 0. And then I can just probably copy this.
Yeah.
So it kind of seems a little inefficient to be doing this twice, but I think in the end it pays off in clarity and helps us to get a better program at the end result. It says when you're refactoring, you shouldn't worry about inefficiency. You should just refactor and then focus on inefficiency, and then address inefficiencies after you're done refactoring.
Okay.
So I think doing this refactoring here, which may seem inefficient at first, it actually it will dry up the code to allow you to implement the features we need to implement in a much drier fashion.
Okay, so I have a question. Oh, okay, I see it. It's fine. So I thought line 34, we're using something
right. So yeah, so this should be result.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be rental.charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now, yep, so yeah, right there, result plus equal rental.charge. So now we can just remove that. And we can remove our temp variable. And then here, where the temp variable, temp variable used to be total amount, now we could just call the method total charge.
Yep.
So that's replace the temp variable with the query refactoring method.
And then
so now this now if we take a look at this total charge, it seems like it's currently in the customer class.
Yeah.
Oh, he refactors it a little bit more. He says this total charge method is a bit short, but says we can make it even shorter. He's
using inject.
Yep. Yeah, so he uses inject. Do you want to go ahead and write that out, Faith?
Yep.
So is Joseph Sess, are you familiar with the inject method?
Yeah, I've used it before.
Awesome. I've never used it.
So Joseph has a really strong argument against the inject documentation in Ruby versus the JavaScript one. So it's result or is it rental? It's rental. So the default one is
So when you do inject and then you say you pass it as 0, you are say, it's going to give you an array. If anyone can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. What was your question?
If you do rental.inject sub-0, you get an array back. I don't know, like Ruby that much.
Hey, Sess, do you want to explain what inject does? Or I can give it a shot.
this rental.
Maybe Sess is out of the room. Yeah, so inject, it basically, so the passing into inject, it's saying, okay, start with a zero sum, and then what it does is it takes a block, or you can think of it as an array, and it's going to iterate through that, and so the first variable that we're passing in there, so the result, so that result gets that 0 value, and then we are so the rentals and array through, and then so forth. We're going to get the rental.charge and add it to the results. So it's basically just iterating through the array and summing all the rental charges. And that starts with the, we could say, hey, start with 10. But we're saying start with the 0 amount.
So then that means, okay, so it's safe to delete this.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. And then we don't need, automatically it's going to return it.
Yep.
So we still don't need line 31, right?
Right.
Okay, so where are you? Okay. So it's fine to like, okay, no, it's fine. Is there a need to make it more descriptive that this is a sum, or should I just assume that for as long as you're using inject, then you know the first argument does gets
It's up
a
to
sum?
you. It's up to you. I mean, some might be a better word, but either way, I'm not really concerned about it.
Yeah, some is better.
Okay.
Better.
Cool. Then let's run our tests. I can run them real quick. They're all passing. So yeah, so now he does the same for frequent runner points. So we can create a new method. He calls it total frequent runner points. Joseph or Seth, do you want to do the next extract or replace temp with query refactoring method?
Okay, but I'll have to change the ID file.
Oh, okay.
I haven't signed up.
That's right.
Haven't signed up or signed in.
Oh, sign. I think signing. I
Yeah.
had signed up with yeah, I think so. So yeah, let me do that.
I don't see your name on here either.
Yeah, you need to invite me because.
Okay. There's a link in Slack, so I think if you try to
You just
join.
click on it.
Yeah, I've clicked on it and it's telling me to sign up.
Sign up or sign in.
Sign in, yeah.
Yeah, just sign in. If you sign in, you'll be able to access it.
Question is, do I have a C9 account?
Have you used, but you've been on a mob session that uses C9 before, right?
Yeah,
and have used it?
Yeah, I think so. Let me just check.
Maybe I can write the method as Joseph sorts that out.
Yeah. Can
I think I'll just have to say I forgot my password.
we're calling it what?
Total frequent renter points. Yeah. And you basically just copy the code from total charge.
Yeah. That's from line, we're doing the line 16 to line 20.
Yeah, we'll delete that later.
Okay. So you're trying to.
I guess this should be changed to frequent.
Yeah.
Mhm. Did I miss anything?
Oh, it looks good to me.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and run the tests. Let's find out. It's passing. You did it. And Joseph came online. All right. So let's see.
I can't see what you guys have on your screen.
Why?
Yeah, it's because I need to give you.
Yeah, because I have
access.
read only.
Have you requested?
Oh, let me
There's
do
a
that.
green button.
Yeah,
There,
I've done
there
that.
it is.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Grant.
All right. So now your screen. You should have
So
access.
how do I change my theme? I need a dark theme
Oh yeah.
because I'm a
Good
rock
luck.
star.
Good luck with that. The vampire theme. Yeah. So I
So I think I
wonder.
need to go to preferences. Go ahead.
All right. So does he move these? Let's see. Yeah, private. Okay. So I guess the last thing we should do is technically these methods can be private. So yeah. So I mean, we're pretty much halfway through chapter 1 now. So he states yeah, so he states that now these queries, the total charge and total frequent renter points, they're now available for any code written in the customer class. And they could easily be added to the public interface of the class if we need to do that in the future. And then it says without queries like these, other methods would have to deal with knowing about the rentals and building the enumerations. So like one of the features that we're going to build next is that, you know, they want a HTML version of this print of this statement. So with the HTML version, we no longer have to write all this code here to, we no longer have to know how total charge is summed up. We no longer have to know how total frequent renter points is summed up. Those automatically available to us. So yeah, so yeah, so he says he's now at the point where he takes off his refactoring hat and puts on his adding function hat. So we're going to basically add a new statement here, or new method called HTML underscore statement, which is basically an HTML version of this. So Joseph, you or Seth, well, Seth did the last one. Joseph, do you want to get us started? Do you have a copy of the book, or have a copy of?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, let's do this. It's basically,
You can.
yeah.
I've pasted it on the chat.
There you go.
But if you want to find it later, it's in the pinned items in the channel.
So it's basically, you could just actually just copy this whole method and repaste it, and then just turn it into HTML instead of turn all the strings into HTML code. So
All the strings.
Actually, just like 3, I think. So if we get, here, I'll get you started. So yeah, so copy that. And we're going to call it HTML underscore statement. So here for results, so this is not so we're going to turn this into HTML. So we'll have a header that looks like yeah, we're on page, if you get the book up, we're on page 30.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, page 30.
Or 53.
Or is it 53?
It's
on
30.
the PDF?
It's 30, yeah, but I think on the PDF, yeah, on the PDF is 53.
Okay.
Two hats. Why should you refactor?
Yeah, so
I can see.
on the book itself, it's page 30.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. You should see HTML statement method.
Yep, I see. But now I can't see you. How come you have changed, Nick? You have added the HTML statement function, and I can't see it. Oh, I can see it.
Okay. Yeah, so up at the beginning of rental, we'll do I have no idea. Oh, maybe like the less than sign. Is there another name for that? Open bracket, closed bracket, or a tag. We'll do an H1 tag.
On the results.
Yep,
Yeah.
right where your cursor is. We'll start with an H1 tag. You'll want it inside the string though. Yeah, there you go. Just to speed this up, I want to take care of this one here. All right. Okay. So result T.
After frequent renter points, that should also be a p tag. Like, so the whole result is a p tag as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, I've got that. You don't need that on the result there. I've got it up here.
Okay.
Actually, what? That is weird. Yeah, I guess maybe you. Oh man. Why? Yeah, I'm a bit confused with the p tags. I guess you do need. Seems like you do need that there, but there is a p tag up here. Can you have p tags inside p tags? I don't think so.
But I see that the line. Are you talking about the line 36 p tag?
Yeah, I'm talking about that p tag. I mean, he's got it opened and it should be closed, right? Like that.
Yeah, it's open. It's open and it's never closed.
Yeah.
So maybe it's.
And then he's got one opened up here.
And he doesn't have any that's closed.
Yeah, and he doesn't have one that's closed. It seems a bit confusing to me.
Yeah. Because you should close them. Maybe you can just close.
And so it doesn't mean every result is in its own p tag.
I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't think we should spend too much time on it
Okay.
trying to figure it out. Just let's do the best we can, I guess. To the this is weird. Yeah, we don't have any tests for this anyways. Yeah, I mean, I think the main idea here is that showing that how this refactoring worked. So originally we had this long statement method, right? And now after doing a few of the refactoring methods in the book, we're able to write up this HTML statement that now we can not only print a statement on a piece of paper, we can print a statement on a website, and we don't have to repeat any of the code. We don't have to repeat any of the calculations or any of the code that was in the statement method. Everything is done, through total charge, through total frequent runner points, and then through like get called the movie title. So now, yeah. So I think the main idea here is that we wrote up this new feature here, allows us to view the information on a website, and we didn't have to repeat any code. Like doing the replace temp with queries, yeah, this seems kind of inefficient, but if we had left it up there, we'd have to repeat it down here. And if, say, like we wanted to give every customer 10 frequent runner points to start out with, we only have to go to one place to change that now.
Yep.
So if we had left the temp variables in statement, we would have had to copy them over to HTML statement, and then we would have had to change it in two places. But now we only have to change it in one place. I think, yeah, besides the confusing p tags, let's not worry about it. I think the main idea is here is like, and this was really easy to write, and doing the refactorings and makes this code a lot cleaner, easier to work with.
Yeah, but if you look at when add footer lines, the comment below that, so the first p tag says UO, and then they put an emphasize tag there, and then I don't think we should have another p here there, because that's one sentence.
Okay. So yeah, so now, so going forward for this session, I'm sorry I was late. How do you feel about these sessions? How are they going for you? Are they good? Are they going at a good speed?
I'm okay with the speed.
Okay.
And I'm enjoying the session.
Awesome. So we have an option here. So we can either, so we're halfway through chapter 1, which is great. And we can continue on to completing the second half of chapter 1, or we can, here, I don't know if you see it on page 31. So he states that he doesn't want further refactoring could clean up some of this code. Extracting methods for the header, footer, and detail line are one route I could take. And he says there's a, you can see how to do that in a form template method. So, and then there's other, then he mentions other work that could be done to refactor, getting rid of the concatenations, which I think we already did in a session with a couple weeks ago. Yeah, we already, in the book, he's got like, seems like we already got rid of that. So we're ahead of the game there. And then we could also use a builder library to produce the HTML or a templating system like ERB. But yeah, so we could kind of diverge from the book here and kind of do a little bit more refactoring, continue with the second half of chapter 1. What do you think? We can always come back later after chapter 1 and do more refactorings. So
you're asking whether we should do it right after or after we're done with chapter 1?
What's that, Faith?
Are you asking if we should refactor it right before we continue the chapter or after we're done with the chapter?
Yeah, I'm asking, do you want to stop following the book for the next session and maybe try to refactor this a little bit more?
No.
Because he mentions
so
form template method, which I don't know what that is yet, but apparently we can extract some methods for the header, footer, and the detail line. So like, yeah, I guess we could refactor this out into a method. But yeah, I mean, so we could either do that on our own right now, or we can continue following the book into the second half of chapter 1.
I think doing the refactoring now makes more sense because we have the context
Okay.
of the need of refactoring other than moving ahead with doing something else, then coming back to this point.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
And
So so for next week, I will try. Yeah, I will definitely look ahead next week and kind of figure out what it is that we'll be doing as far as refact. I mean, I kind of know, but I would like to maybe. I think he's got this form extract method laid out somewhere in the book, so I will take a look at it. If I can, let me see, form extract. Yep, form template method refactoring. Format. So it looks like on some examples here in the book. Like maybe, yeah, there's a few different page numbers like 380, 374, page 372. Page 74. So I'll take a look at that, and or yeah, and if anyone else feels like it, please take a look at it too over the week, and then we can get together and figure out what to do. Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
yeah.
There are buttons here that I want to press, but I don't know what they do.
Guys, I'm dropping off. I don't know if that means we'll go offline or maybe to move to the next person, but I have to drop off. Thanks,
Okay.
Nick.
Hey, thank you, Faith.
And Cecilia.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.
What
Continue.
does this button do?
Uh,
These ones, the circles.
what button are you referring to?
So
Or
they
are
are,
you on your screen? Let me
yeah.
take a look at it. Oh, that
So
one. That one just adds like a new empty file. So you
no,
can go.
oh, these ones. So we have